Hello and welcome to another episode of What Do You Call It podcast. I'm your host, GB. It is bloody boiling. My guest, by the way, he's been on the show, so I'm not really going to give an introduction, but I'm glad to have him back and he can relate to me as it is really hot at the moment. It's September. We experienced ups and downs, mostly downs when it comes to the weather, just constantly raining. It's fucking awful. But where we all don't have plans, yay, fucking just sunshine. So yeah, bollocks. But I'm gonna stop moaning because I am in a good mood because I'm going away this week. But you can find out on my social media handles below and keep up to date with what I've got planned. But enough about me. Let's get Liam on. Let's discuss what he's been up to because when we last spoke, he was up to a lot, but he's actually been up to so much more. So Liam, I know a lot has happened since we last spoke. Just today, how you been? And just before we get into what you've been up to, what you've been up to today?
Today I've just been chilling. Actually, I picked up my nephew from school.
Yeah.
Dropped his mum's. And yeah, just enjoying the weather like yourself. It's really weird, isn't it? We've kind of gone through the whole of summer with pretty poor weather, and
Yep.
now the back end of it in September, off into October we go. It's decided to get
Mm-hmm.
sunny. So it's a bit
Best day.
confusing, but that's British weather, isn't it?
But yeah,
Yeah.
man. Hopefully it remains like this now for the next few weeks. Then I can just kind of squeeze in some things I want to do. So it's all good. Let's gonna be positive about it, because the rain did get me down a bit, and I'm sure it did with you. But you was probably too busy to even notice it anyway. Because you're a busy lad when you're out on the sea, watching football, appearing in films, in Qatar, and the news, Oxford University. That's why I'm surprised today has actually been relatively simple, boring day for you. So, Liam, I want to talk about the business schedule you have. One thing that does stand out to me, and I've wanted to talk to you about it for a while since it happened, is your trip to the World Cup in Qatar. So, I want to know about your overall experience. How did you end up there? The weather. But let's just start off with the simple question: is how did you end up in Qatar?
Really strange. So I'll try and keep it as short as possible. It was I was at uni, I was on my laptop, and cut long story short, I'm part of a group called Block 109, and what we do is try to create better atmosphere at England games, home and away.
Hmm.
And I've been part of the group for about 4 or 5 years, and I got an email through from a friend who said there's an opportunity to potentially go to the World Cup. Now, Qatar was not on my mind. I've done like I did Russia, I did France Euros, I did London
Yeah.
Euros. Um, Qatar was never on my list, just cost so much to get to these places and whatnot. Um, so yeah, cut a long story short, and I got an email saying that there's an opportunity for 40 fans from each country to essentially get paid to go out and represent their country, and that covered flights and accommodation. Was going to cover like a daily allowance, but I don't know if you saw at the time there was the release from out news outlets and football celebrities about the daily allowance, and that got cut in the end because of
Yeah.
basically it was seen as the government were paying fans to have a life, which I always found a bit funny. When just normal people get given these opportunities, it's like everyone frowns on it, but then when
Hmm.
celebrities will get paid
Yeah.
these PR stunts and all these, it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
this is part and parcel, which
No, no one thinks
I
about
find
too
quite
much of it.
ironic,
Yeah.
really. Yeah, the working man or the middle class man, he can't, have this opportunity. But yeah, so basically it came from that. So I was at uni and I just wasn't planning it at all. And obviously it was in November times. So it was a really weird period. And I was like,
Mm.
that can't be real. He said, yeah, just go in for the ballot and you might be picked. A couple of days later, I was picked. I think me and 20 other guys, they picked, on our support for England and bloody blah. And I still didn't really believe it until I got the flights email from Qatar Airways and the accommodation details. And I was like, okay, this might be real.
This is actually
Like,
going to be
it's like
happening.
it's basically winning a competition. Yeah, this is like, this is basically winning a competition, isn't it? Like if you
Yeah.
looking from my point of view, getting to follow England. So yeah, I bought tickets for the three England group stage games. Got to see Ronaldo play out there, Portugal game. I saw the opening ceremony. And obviously I met David Beckham, which was the highlight.
That
Got a
I'm
call
gonna
out
break
in
down.
in
That
Doha.
that is so cool. Because the last time we spoke, you met Romeo, wasn't it? Romeo Beckham. Or was it Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one.
And
And he
then
was like,
and that
oh,
was the
well,
weird thing,
that's the
wasn't it?
closest
In
I could
that
get to meet.
video, I said, yeah. And literally, what, a few months later, whenever it was like, yeah, that was surreal. Like, I remember I was very hungover. I probably spent like £100 on beers because it was so expensive out there,
Yeah,
and I didn't have anything to eat. And then before I know it, I was just filming this FIFA video with David Beckham right in front of me. I'm like, wow. Like, if you knew me when I was really young, you speak to any of my friends and family, David Beckham would be the person
yeah.
I've wanted to meet my whole life. I went out to Madrid. It was 2001, 2002. We watched him at the Bernabeu when he was playing. He's just been part of my life growing up. It was my idols growing up. Yeah, very surreal experience.
It was cool, man. I was kind of following the journey on your Instagram. Obviously, I'll point the listeners out there if they're not following already, but I'll do it at the end. But I was very jealous of that. But I want to ask you, what was your favorite game when you was out there? And I also want to talk about the atmosphere as well. Actually, no,
Yeah,
that might
the
be a dumb
atmosphere.
question because obviously you being an England fan. Did you actually watch other countries play, or was it just specifically England that you was out there for?
It's really weird because like you have some people text you back home and they're saying like, "What's it like?" Like you hear,
Mm.
all these kind of scare stories about going out there. And I'll be
Hmm.
truthfully honest, like it's a lot safer going out to Doha than it is it being in London. It's such a safe place, and I
Yeah.
mean, no, and it's not a dumb question about atmosphere. It's a valid one because it's a lot different to what you expect. There was a lot of, well, I mean, the first few days it was very quiet. It was quite quiet. You're walking around, you're thinking, Jesus, the biggest competition in the world, and it was a bit dead. But then as it went by, every nationality was finding a ticket and accommodation to try and find to go to this tournament. It was the smallest country, I think, in the history of hosting a World Cup. So you could actually go. I had a friend of mine, Nick, who used to go to 3 games a day.
Hmm.
So he goes to like the early kickoff. I think it's like the afternoon kickoff and then the evening.
That
And it
is
was
fucking
tricky. It was
commitment.
tiring, but you could do it.
Yeah.
You know. Um, so yeah, back to your question about atmosphere. It definitely got bigger in the fan park. I mean, that was getting
Mm.
rammed with locals, but you obviously had a lot of Indian Asian people work over in Qatar. So it's really heavy, massive support from that demographic for like some Messi, obviously huge. I mean, Argentina fans everywhere, and for Ronaldo as well.
Mm.
So as English goes, didn't really see that many. You saw bits and bobs, and obviously at the games, you could see there's like the allocation of diehard England fans who go everywhere. But it was a real mix of nationalities and people. I think I was sat next to a guy dressed as Rey Mysterio, which I thought you might quite like.
Thumbs up
He
for
was
that.
in
Yeah. We are
like
a
a
wrestling podcast
Welsh.
as well.
It was like it was literally like in a Welsh outfit, but he was like Mexican. It was like really, it was just crazy. Like I was like, fair play, mate. I don't know how
Oh,
that's come
yeah.
about. But that was obviously the England Wales
Just as
game.
Rey Mysterio at Qatar for the World Cup.
He's
Can't
had the
make it
height,
up.
and it was just I literally double taking like, and he
Yeah.
sat in his seat like the 45th minute, like half time. I was like, where have you been? But yeah, no, I think the games very much knew what was going on with the games, and obviously like the Argentina Saudi Arabia game that was huge. I was with a friend Liam, another Liam who flew out. He paid for
Mm.
his trip, and so one of the game was in a restaurant eating it. So you really felt the vibe, and I can only say about the hospitality and the people
Hmm.
there, like we got invited into people's like palace homes and they were giving you drink and
Mm.
food and
Treating
it's
like
another
royalty.
world. And
That's insane,
look,
man.
yeah, don't get me wrong. I fully understand about the problems that country has
Yeah.
with
Like
the
like
build up and the mind.
politics and like what they believe in. Okay, don't necessarily support it. But I mean, when it comes to the football, that's what we're going to discuss. I mean, the football itself, there was no issues. I know we went out fairly early, even though fucking Harry Kane, Arsenal fans, I'm gonna vent out a little bit. I think to be fair, the ref was shit in that game. Not that I've got over it. Yeah, I've clearly have, but overall, but you didn't hear anything bad about the tournament itself that really stood out, if that makes sense. You hear about like fights
Yeah,
and you see the footage and you see the clips. You didn't really see that at Qatar.
it was odd. There was none of that. There was no violence. There
Mm-hmm.
was nothing like that. I mean, the drinking is still very much happened. It was all in the bars and the
Yeah,
hotels where they sell it. They charge like 13 quid a pint though, so that was
it's
pretty
not far off
brutal.
London.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's what I said to people. I mean, like, oh, it's £9 a crony in most places now. So it's not really that difference, but
Yeah.
yeah, was it was an incredible experience, and it's really nice. I mean, it's the cleanliness of the place. The metro system is so
Mm.
clean and efficient, and Stunning in areas. It's trying. I think it's trying to become a Dubai. It's trying to entice people. A lot of the marketing when I was flying over from London Heathrow was Qatar is the place to stop over. So they don't advertise it as a holiday place, but
Yeah.
if you're going long distance, they want you to explore the country. And it does, like the Souk Waqif, the marketplace where I was on BBC News a few times. That was really historic and that was rammed.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that had
remember
every
watching England.
nationality
I think it was a
going
Big
there.
Side player, and I fucking see Liam Edwards. We'll come back to me seeing you randomly
Yeah,
on
there
TV
I
or
was.
whatever. There is a show, but we'll come back to it in a minute. Um, but that's cool. Like, he's literally everywhere, man. And the fact that you got to meet Dave Beckham. Did you cry, by the way? Be honest, as we're recording this, and I will upload it, your truthful
I don't
response.
think I actually. Yeah, no, I'll be honest. I don't think actually I cried, but it was a very surreal moment. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I was like,
Is that because
wow,
you're too hungover?
probably, yeah. And I had no breakfast. Literally, like breakfast was like there was like a little off license at the bottom of the road, and just some
Yeah.
like this bread pastry, and that was about it. But they did great shish kebabs out there. I will say that.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, no, yeah, like I say, it was this man is you could arguably say
It's
one
an
of the most famous
icon.
in the
One of the
world.
biggest
Like
footballers of all time. Like
you
it's
know,
you can't deny it. Even though he's been retired for what, 10 years now. People still
I
know who he
mean,
is. You just say Beckham, yeah, footballer. Yeah, free kicks or celebrity or the model or whatever. Man United.
it's
Everyone knows who he is.
funny story about that. I literally so he was running late as typically you would, and I was
Yeah.
really busted for a pee. So I had to run basically to the other side of the park to go for a pee, and but they were like he could be coming any minute, and they will just start filming with him walking. They won't cut or anything.
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, this do I miss out? Do I not buzz? I really need to go. It's okay, run. So I'm jogging along with this other English bloke. I said, yeah, Beckham's coming. He's like, no way, man, that's sick. Like, so he wanted to walk along, and obviously there was security in that, but you could see him. And then literally my friend Arch, who was running the whole thing, he was like screaming at me to hurry up. And all I saw was like this camera crew and David walking down. I was like, I need to get in the Astro gate before him, or I might have to be held outside because we're meant
yeah.
to be passing the ball around and kicking it like so. We're filming like a football kind of. God, I'm that close to potentially not being in the video. But
Or because you had
yeah,
weakness.
when he signed my shirt and everything, I've got yeah, okay, probably too many of those Qatari pints the night before. Um, but yeah, got me signed shirt up there, and yeah, no, it's a treasured item for sure.
Yeah, man. I know I spoke to you last time. Obviously, just the fact that you wanted to meet Son, just to meet Beckham, and then you got to meet David fucking Beckham. Not a lot of people can say that whilst you're representing England and for the World Cup. Just wow, lifetime experience that is. And you met Ronald de Boer as well. You met? Was that the same
Who's that?
event when you met him? Ronald de Boer?
Oh yes, yeah, good. You have a good memory.
Yeah.
Yes, that was so basically we were in a FIFA fans tournament as well, so that's why we
Yeah.
were there, and there was all the nationalities. Xavi was there, Etu was there. Uh, we had Cafu. They literally were there for 5 seconds, and then security just pushed them away because there were so many people that day.
Yeah.
Um, and we got to the last 16 as the England team. Not making excuses, but we lost like five brilliant players. They all flew out to Australia because of the end of our stay. There's a few less left of us who had later flights. But so I think we would have had a fair chance, and there's good prize money as well. I think we won like $500 each for participating, and that was just round 16. I think if you won, it was like 10 grand, and split that
Fucking hell.
between 10
You
people
actually
was like a
prepared
thousand
for
dollars
this,
each. I mean,
mate. You could have
this is a place with so much money, mate.
I
It's
might have
it's
to
it's so much
join
money,
this
but
group,
obviously
mate.
the five aside,
Oh, mate, I'll get the bull. I've got the bulldog
that
tattooed on me.
it's
I'll get it all done, mate. Don't you worry. Just
shave the head. Yeah, no, the Ronald DeBell was he was the manager for Netherlands, so I didn't
yeah.
even realize until full time. I was like, oh, like, and he was chatting with us, and I think he reposted my picture
Oh, nice.
I got with him on his Instagram. So yeah, just a lovely, lovely bloke. It was just lovely people, like every
Mm,
nationality. Like it was great. The whole occasion, the
mm.
stadiums were incredible. Just in the tour, I saw David Guetta out there live as well, DJing.
He's good life. I know a lot of
So that
people
was
aren't
like
as
a
big
really
fan, but I'm gonna have to admit he was really good. I saw him at Creamfields many, many years ago, and it was really good. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm not like a massive diehard of him, but if it's good, it's good. Can't lie about it.
Well, it was like, yeah, David Guetta, and then I think Robbie Williams was there the following week. It was like a real random,
Fucking hell. Fucking
Robbie
hell.
Williams was the Black Eyed Peas thing.
They're still going.
It was mad.
Jesus. Not that, mate, the fact
Yeah,
that I've said, are they still going? It's making me look really old, but it's just because I haven't heard them do anything. I don't know. I don't remember the last song they did. Just, if anyone can put in the comments below, or even if you
Black
can tell
Eyed
me them.
Peas were. Well, I saw Black Eyed Peas. They were the first band I saw at the O2 when it started doing live concerts there.
Yeah.
So that must have been 2005, six, seven, something between those years.
Around the Where is the Love
Um,
period. Like, where
I
is the
think that was when I saw
love?
them live.
Or I might see him live, but I mean, not
That's it.
now.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I mean, if
I
you're
got
gonna
a
be walking past them, then yeah,
feeling.
okay, I'll have a beer and I'll fit them on. But if you had to summarize your overall experience in Qatar in the World Cup, what would you sort of summarize it in basically like one line?
Oh my God. I mean, just a very lucky boy. I think, to be honest, I mean, that's how I describe it. Right
Yeah,
time, right place. I knew the right people. And I do think a little bit of life is who you know and not what you know.
big time.
That's how I
Right
just fell
place,
into that
right time.
time. And I was at uni. I knew that I could take time off, so I wasn't in a full-time job, so I didn't have to like book 2.5 weeks off work or anything. I could
Hmm.
just go. Um, and financially I was able to fund it. So I was lucky. I'm like a lucky boy, but 9 out of 10 people I met from all
Hmm.
walks of life, from African nations to the other side. We had Australians; they came from the other side of the world. Um, it was just everything and everywhere, and the nights out were great. There's just so many fun memories, and being invited into palaces' homes and meeting the
Mm.
camels,
So the fact
being
that
in
you're
the
still
super
smiling about it
people, and
now, and the fact that
people you
I'm
knew.
super jealous and just sort of I was literally hooked on your social media, on your Instagram. Just like, oh my God, what's he done now? Oh, he's here now.
Yeah,
The fact that I saw you on TV, right, and going on your Instagram to know that you're going to be on TV, it was just, oh man, it's so cool. It made me jealous, but also happy for you as a mate. And the fact that we can have this
yeah,
chat about it. And I know some people might not necessarily like to hear that it was great. That's fine. I completely understand that and respect that. I said we're not going to get into politics or sort of their views, but we're just talking about the experience, the football itself, and just the personal time that you had over there. And I'm glad it was good, man. I'm really glad. But no, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but it's all good. Before we do talk about the films, there's many films that you've been doing lately. I want to talk about you meeting quickly. Um, Warnock, no Warnock. You saw my
yeah.
response. Like, you should upload the photo. I was immediately just like, "Fucking hell, Liam! This isn't fair. I think I'm going to go to Oxford University now. Never too late." Yeah, fucking Essex University. I wasted 3 years there. No, I'm joking. Great
Yeah.
university. Wink, wink. But yeah, tell me about that
No,
quickly. That
it's
experience. Hasn't happened.
yeah. I mean, that was so. Cut a long story short, I'm on the committee basically for the Oxford
Yeah.
Union. Um, my role was very miniature to what the big people did, but I had a very active presence in, you know, being at the events, the debates, we had debates, and it's very posh and luxurious. What you would think of Oxford is very much the stereotype, but it's great. We've had some of the biggest names have spoken there, from Morgan Freeman to Elton John. Big names have spoken there, Billy Joel in the past. And we had Neil Warnock, a friend of mine, invited him because he is also a Huddersfield fan. He's from up north, from Huddersfield, so he was great. And it was just everything I expected him to be. He was just so himself in one of the most
Mm.
poshest, glamorous areas. Him and his wife come on in. He had his chinos, his like polo shirt on. His wife was lovely. And she turned around to me. She said, "Just by the way, my dear," she said, "this isn't going to be recorded on the YouTube channel, is it?" I said, "Luckily, on this occasion, it's not." Which I know for the
Ah.
fans, they were like, "Oh, we'd love to have seen that," but because of scheduling, we
Yeah. Yeah.
have to like book the people who called it in. But yeah, no, we put him in the library hall, packed out, full of members, all asking questions, happy to take pictures. Spoke a bit about Charlton as well. And he said, "God, you guys have been run awfully, haven't you?" I said, "Neil, if you ever fancy career change, I mean, probably not, but if you ever
No,
fancy coming to
I
South
know a
London,
guy.
let me
Come on,
know.
come on.
We'd
Sort it.
very much have you." And ironically, we sacked our manager literally last week, so we have a vacancy. Um, but yeah, no, just a really nice,
Mm.
working class man. Came from nothing, tough, hardcore brute of a man.
I
They
love
do
it.
really make him tougher up north. It's true.
He's great. Just
Um,
like just his
and
interviews as
yeah,
well, and the
just a
fact that
great
he's been
man.
around for years. Like, I love it. Just no, that sounds like Keegan. But I'm not even gonna attempt the impression again. Who else did you meet? Was it Mia Khalifa? Oxford University.
It's funny because
That blew me away. Like, I'm not the fact that I've seen the content, but yeah. Tell me
mate,
more.
the whole chamber probably has. You know, I mean, that was weird. I mean, the things I take away from my university experience, meeting Mia Khalifa and being this close to her, probably wasn't something that I thought I'd be taken away. But there we are. Yeah, no, that was a packed out chamber. That was like in a
I
big
wonder
chamber.
why.
And you know what? Fair play to us. You well, I mean, the thing is, obviously, from my perspective as a committee member, it's a stern face,
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
But everyone else on board, it was fair play to her because I think let's be honest, loads of people have seen your content, and she's gone into a chamber of maybe a couple of thousand people, and she's sitting there and giving a talk, and you must look out at the thousands of people watching, and then eventually online be like,
Yeah.
everyone's basically seen me, you know.
Yeah.
Um, you know, that must be quite weird
Perform.
from
Yeah.
a yeah, perform. But yeah, no, she got us, questions. I mean, one was about like, how do you think artificial intelligence will take over the porn industry in the next few years? Which I thought, what a question. I don't think she really knew how to answer it, but there
It's
we
not
go.
actually an
Um,
awful question,
we had
and it kind of relates
those.
to like her profession. I
Oh,
mean, it depends how you ask it. I mean, you can
yeah,
imagine
no,
some
I
lad
don't.
like, "Oh, what do you feel about
Yeah,
AI with tits?" Like, but that
well,
was
they basically had that now,
bonkers
didn't
though
they?
that she
There's
came
probably some
to uni.
categories in there. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was a girl on the committee vote invited her, and yeah, she came along. So that's what I mean. One minute you got Neil Warner, the
Yeah,
next minute you got Mia Khalifa all on the calendar term. I mean, that's
it's just an
things change,
unheard of
obviously. But yeah,
sentence,
she was a
isn't
nice
it?
person, and I think
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, you can watch that one. I think on the YouTube channel. I think they
I might
uploaded
have
that.
to, man. Just to
You'll
give it, I
see
might
me
give it a
next. I think
listen.
like two rows across. I'm sat
I
next
hope
to you.
you're making eye contact in that video, by the way. Um, we'll find
Well,
out.
no,
But
because I'm facing outwards, so it's like she was to my peripheral. You
I'll
know.
I'll let you off then. If the listeners want to check that out, by the way, YouTube it. But there's other things you can YouTube. Liam Edwards' first interview with me in the link below. It's a great interview. It's how we got to discuss about your film career and how you got into it, doing extra work. 1917 was your first film. We spoke about that in detail. I loved the film itself. I think I watched it after when I first met you. Yes, that was it. I think I messaged you. But you have since been doing many, many films. So I've lost track, mate, to be honest. So since the last chat, Hallelujah, Flash, that's just come out not long ago, Jurassic Park. So I didn't really like the film that much, but you're in it. So we'll talk about it. Napoleon film that comes out when I think it's the end of this year, I believe so. And Ted Lasso. I didn't even have a clue you was on this. I remember you had like you think you uploaded a photo of you being on the set or something. Completely forgot. I can't remember what episode it was. Immediately messaged you straight away. So let's talk about Ted Lasso first before we talk about the other films and where you are now with your film career.
Yeah, so I mean, Ted Lasso was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That when you know people messaging you and calling you, saying they've seen you, you're not just a famous blur. Like you've actually been seen on the
You
screen
are
as an extra.
clearly seen in it.
Yeah, with my coffee cup. Yeah, that was great. That was really good fun. We filmed that at Hayes and Yeading Football Club, which is kind of more, I think, to like
Mm-hmm.
Heathrow Airport kind of way. And yeah, it's got to meet obviously Brett Goldstein, Jason Sudeikis, Coach Beard, all them guys, Hannah Waddington. But I did quite a few days in that. I did days at West Ham. Yeah, did a lot of days at Hayes and Yeading. I was quite involved in that production, doing different bits. But obviously, yeah, the scene where I'm kind of smiling very much with my cup of coffee. That was a great show to be part of. And America's huge. Like so many friends in America messaged me from that.
Oh my
Oh, in
god,
LA watching.
Liam, dude.
Oh my God, it's soccer. We love soccer. Yeah. And it's true. Like, it's getting big, isn't it? With like Messi into Miami and,
Yeah.
you know, it's going great. So, yeah, that was brilliant. Well, obviously, The Flash with Ezra Miller that came out. Hallelujah, the Judi Dench film. I was an opera goer. What else have we been doing? Oh
Jurassic
yeah,
Park,
Jurassic
you see
World.
yourself as
Jurassic
well. I
World
think
was
you
that
raising
was
your hand in it. I believe so. Jeff,
yeah. I like clap and
Jeff
I'm like
Goldblum.
celebrating.
Yeah, you're like really happy.
Um, that's it. That was, and the thing is, they left my audio from me going like woohoo in the audio of in the cinema, so you can hear me say it as well.
Like a
I was
film
like,
that
it's very
costs like
weird
hundreds of
and
millions to make,
surreal.
they still keep your audio in it. You're like,
And I'm just like woohoo. Um, yeah, no, that was great. I mean, I filmed that in Oxford in 2020, so that was like the first film I did just after COVID was announced.
yeah.
And that was I got stung by a wasp that day, I think. Yeah, I did. I remember it was like early morning.
And you
I got stung by a
continued.
wasp, and but luckily I didn't have a reaction or anything. And then I was able to film in the afternoon with Sam Neill and yeah, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum.
Trooper.
So yeah, it's a nice little. I completely agree. The film wasn't that great, but just say you're part of the Jurassic franchise. I
Yeah.
quite
That's
yeah.
still awesome, no? I'd be like, I mean, I don't give a shit if the film's bad or not. I think I may or may have not been some bad or good films. No comment. But it's just the experience, man. Meeting these people like in front of you. I think that's if the listeners aren't aware already, like how me and Liam know each other was from a film, The Last Heist. Brilliant. I really enjoyed that film, but I really enjoyed it. I was really impressed with it. Saw it the
Yeah.
premiere. I think I actually sent you photos, didn't I, after credits, and unfortunately they left your name out, which is a bit shit. But you
I
do
know.
see, I think you see you a bit more than me, if I recall.
The Last Heist was a weird one because I don't think because obviously that was kind of like one of those kind of paid up opportunities, the same which I
Yeah,
did with Rise of the Foot Soldier. But I actually got all of that for free, the extra stuff. I just got a contact and a number to
yeah,
do the extra work for free. So I guess that they just didn't have my name down for
yeah,
the
yeah.
credits of that. But to be fair, I was just really happy to be there. Obviously with Sam Gittins, Terry Stone, obviously
Mm-hmm.
yourself, and really good
Mm.
cast. Obviously
And Dapper
Daniel
laughs.
O'Reilly.
Yeah, that's just a good day.
Um,
It was quite quick, wasn't it? It wasn't that long. I think it was 2-3 hours. I think it was.
it was
I think no,
Yeah,
we
no, I
had
spent a
started
lot of my life
early
in
though. We was
Clapham.
there for
So I kind of
ages, but the actual film itself was literally about 2-3 hours, if that. And then I think it was home. Well, I was home. Like,
I always go past it kind of, but
oh, what where it's filmed? The
yeah,
under
I
the
kind of go
train.
past it on the train. That's it, yeah, yeah. Because if I go to Victoria, I think I go through Clapham, so you can kind of there's that
Mm.
yellow bar next to it, wasn't there? Like if you
Yeah,
turn
yeah,
right,
yeah. That's
so I
quite a
still
cool
see it.
bar to be fair. I want to check it out like properly, not when I'm actually doing
Yeah,
work or something.
I've only been there at like early hours of the morning. I've never just been there when
Yeah,
it's
and this is when COVID was still kind of like relatively. Yeah, COVID was. We were in a lockdown. Technically, well,
yeah. We still feel for the people, you know.
I know. I did like 3
And
films like during the lockdown. Like, for fuck's sake,
yeah,
man.
that's all good. I did obviously Foot Soldier Vengeance that comes out.
Oh, have you done that one? Did you do that?
I'm not yeah, I wasn't so much an extra, but there's a mugshot scene. So I had
Yeah.
to upload a picture on this wall actually of me looking like nasty and
Oh, fair
angry.
enough.
I think they can use it in the scene in when the guy's looking through like the culprits who's
Oh, right. Yeah,
done
yeah,
a
yeah.
bad if they get the close up of it. I know it's in the film because Nick Nevin took a picture of a castmate or videoed a member, and I could actually see my picture on it. And it was next to the character in Foot Soldiers, it Ralph, the
Oh, I know
one with the
talking about the
long
one from
hair,
Football
black
Factory.
small guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Zebedee. I know the guy's name.
Yeah, you got
Cannot think top of my head.
yeah, I remember his character. But
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, those
so I've
films make
got
so
that. I think that
much
comes out in
money. I mean,
a week
look,
or so.
they're not critically acclaimed. Acclaimed? Acclaimed. Ignore me that one. But they make so much money. People love them. They have the audience. I'm still going to go watch it. And I think the thing I like about
In
the
the cinema.
films is they just entertain me. They make me laugh. I can just switch off and just take it for what it is. Not everything has to be critically acclaimed. Yep, said it right that time.
Mhm.
Happy days. Or Oscar worthy or BAFTA or whatever. You could just watch a film that's just fun.
Put your feet up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
allowed. Or I'm actually going to watch Chaplin from Robert Downey Jr. I don't know. I know it's really random to mention this, but I bought it on YouTube yesterday. But I was really tired, so I fell asleep. So I'm going to watch it tonight because I've got an
Yeah.
early meeting in the office. So I really want to watch it, and I thought I'd mention it because I know you like your films, and I've
Mm.
always wanted to watch it, but never got to it. So I was like, I'm going to buy it.
At least do it properly. I mean, I usually rent it, then fall asleep, then forgot I rent it, then the rent actually runs out, and then I've never watched the thing. So yes, make sure to watch it.
Hello there. I've got a special announcement for my next guest.
Hi, this is Eddie Edwards from Impact Wrestling, and I will be appearing on What Do You Call It podcast. Tune in, follow along, and listen to me speak.
You heard. Just took a quick break then. Thank you for staying with us. It's been a very fun interview. And it's nice to kind of switch from just specifically wrestling, although I tend to do that quite easily in the wrestling related episodes anyway. But Liam did mention Rey Mysterio, so no one can moan then. So, Liam, as we are wrapping up this interview, just let me know what else do you have lined up. I'm certain that you've got some big plans, but let the listeners know.
Yeah, well, I mean, film-wise, TV-wise, obviously the saga strikes obviously affected filming all across the globe.
Yeah.
So I've been fitted for. There's a new Formula One film being filmed with Brad Pitt, and I'm a Mercedes Formula One mechanic for that. So it's Brad Pitt, Apple TV. We're filming at Silverstone. Hopefully, the start of next year, if the strikes will come to an end. So I've got that lined up.
That's so
And
cool, by the
currently
way.
filming the House of the Dragon season 2, HBO and Sky Atlantic. So been spending a lot of my summer in King's Landing. That's been my place. So yeah, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, watch out. You'll probably see me in that. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I know like the strike is kind of affecting it. So you're not actually appearing everywhere on my TV. With social
Get a
media. So
break.
yeah, get a bit of break from Liam, but it's good to have you back on. What film, by the way, or TV series, whatever, would you say that you've seen yourself the most in, if that makes sense?
Ironically, the one I probably filmed, which obviously I think I've even spoke to you about this, the Masters of the Air, the Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg show. I think actually when I spoke to you on it,
Yes.
it's the spin-off of the band The Brothers in the Pacific, but still hasn't even come out yet. And I filmed that in early 2021, and I think it will come out in early
Yeah,
2024.
we
So
did the
that's
interview
the one I
at
think
the
you'll
end
see
of
a lot of me.
2021. Fuck. Yes, I remember you talking about it now. And fun fact,
It's,
if anyone does go back and listen to the interview, I had COVID then. First time I had it, just FYI. I look okay, but during like before and after, I'm just like, "Ugh." But yeah, I'm all good now. So that's a good thing. Don't really want to talk about COVID now.
thanks.
Thing of the past. Thing of the past. Even though we met.
What's that C
Mm.
word? Um,
Exactly. I prefer to see you next Tuesday. I completely forgot to say it just now. I was like, how do you spell it? See you next Tuesday. For fuck's sake. Work.
Actually, see you. Oh,
I know, right? I know. There's an N, there's a T. Nah, all good. But no, my brain's a bit fried up. Liam, if I'm gonna direct the listeners out there to your social media, how can I do so? Where can they find you?
probably
If they're
post
not
most of my
following already.
content on the Instagram, Mr. Liam Edwards underscore. Yeah, I post a lot of my film, my uni life. I
Yeah.
graduate from that at the end of the year in criminology. So I'm looking forward to finishing that chapter of my life. But yeah, got a busy year. It's been a fun year. Been on holiday and
Mm-hmm.
different plans with friends and stuff, and catching up with people this summer, which has been nice because we all live a busy life, and it's good we finally got this booked in because we're
Yes,
both busy people. So it's nice
definitely,
to be able
man.
to.
I'm glad to have you back. It's good to see you return. Always a great time to talk to you as well. And just, I know you're very busy, so we did actually have this arranged early in the year, I believe, but just wasn't able to make it happen. But we've got you on today. I've had a great laugh. Shout out to Mia Khalifa.
You want to follow now, isn't it? She actually
I don't.
follows some of my friends on Instagram. Didn't follow me though.
No way. Ah, mate.
She did tweet me though. She did tweet me. That is my claim to fame.
Nice. I
Um,
mean, I'm not gonna start following her, but I might. I mean,
you,
I'm aware of her already. I'm aware of her work.
George, don't lie now. You've been following me a Khalifa for years now. So
This is
let's not pull any punches.
they're all gonna think I'm a fucking pervert now. I'm not. I'm not. I'm assuming I'm male, right? I'm male. But nah, it's all good, Liam. It's all good. So, Charlton, by the way, what's your predictions for Charlton if I don't speak to you until after next
Um,
this season?
I mean, look, it's been the worst start. I mean, well, we won on the weekend, so it's 2 wins now. We're on a run of 5 losses, 4 in the league, 1 in the cup, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously we sacked Dean Holden, and that was still in August. I think we're announcing a new manager ends this week because obviously my dad he does the photography at Charlton as well, so it's a big part of my
That's how
life
you get
going
them
home and
cool
away.
snaps. Ah.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone messaged me. They're like, "Who's this photographer? We're just taking pictures of him." Like, it's my dad. It's not just some
That's
random
some really good photos. But I
Um,
think the one I've used you for the thumbnail and to advertise this is literally the one of you just like,
yeah, yeah, that was when we beat Leighton Orient at the beginning of the season. Then it went downhill after that. But yeah,
you need more
I
photos, by
think
the
we'll
way.
have a new manager in this week. Yeah, I should do it every week, shouldn't I? Be like, Dad, can you come up? Oh, yeah, what's up?
God, just to get the free
But
points.
yeah, I think probably I don't know. I still like to think we could probably push for playoffs. We made some pretty cool loan signings.
Still early
New
on,
manager,
isn't it?
hopefully.
Those kind of like
Yeah,
24 games, 24 teams.
yeah. We can make it up. I know. I think Exeter City are on first with 13 points. We've got 6 points, but a
Hmm.
couple of losses for them, a couple of wins for us. You're back in contention. So let's see what happens there.
Nah.
Playoffs, hopefully.
Good luck to Charlton. I've got no bad feelings towards your lot. I've been to your ground before. I think we actually discussed that in the first interview. You can go back and listen to that. And we're just going to keep plugging that episode. Yeah, I've had one of the days. Plus, it's really hot, so I'm just like really tripping over my words today. You think I have COVID
It's warm
now?
out there, isn't
It is, man.
it?
The
It is
sun's shining
really
over. I
warm.
don't know if it's kind of obvious. It's just really, really just teasing me right now. But I am going to go to the shops, and I think I might just go for a little bit of a walk as well. So kind of embrace it because the rest of the week is quite
Get that
busy.
vitamin D.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I work on my tan because I feel a bit pale at the moment. Just lacking on the darkness at the moment, and just stuck with the paleness. But we'll meet in the middle. But Liam, thank you for coming on. I'll send the listeners to your social media, Instagram. It's really worth the follow. You never know who's going to meet, where he's going to be, which performers might turn up at Oxford University. I'm going to shout about that.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen on Liam Edwards' social media. But now, send him follow. He's a mate. Really do appreciate coming on. I'll get you back on when you've, conquered Hollywood. It's going to happen, mate. It's going to happen. But now, I appreciate coming on,
Something
mate.
like that.
Enjoy the rest of your day. For listeners out there, if you can like this video, subscribe to this channel. Be much appreciated. You can follow me on my social media handles in the description below. That'd be much appreciated. See what I've got lined up next. But that is me done for the week. But I'll be back next week for more What You Call It podcast. Thank you. Take care.